Hello everyone, welcome. My name is India and I'm here to talk to you about a hand that came up very recently in one of our supervised sessions. So, without further ado, let's dive in. So on this hand, we're going to start off being West. As you can see, we've got one of those annoying hands where we're supposed to bid the higher of our two 5-card suits first, but we don't have any points in our higher suit. No matter, we just ignore our suit quality and we bid one heart after South's pass. Oops. So North then bids one spade and our partner bids two clubs, after which South has a kind of borderline decision. So let's have a look at South's hand. They might want to support partner's spades, but they might not because it's not clear that their King of Hearts is worth anything. So they might not have as many points as their high card points would suggest. However, they would like to be quite annoying to the opponents because remember that East's bid of two clubs shows at least an invitational hand, so at least 10 points. So that means the opponents have more than half the points. So often it's good just to get in the way a little bit. Yes, that hand might not be worth anything. I completely sympathise if you choose to pass, but two spades will cause the opponents some problems, and you'll see why. Okay, let's look at West's hand. They've got a bit of a dilemma after two spades. So they'd love to show their diamonds, especially because their diamonds are so much nicer than their hearts. But on this occasion, they're not really strong enough. So first of all, they've only got 13 points, but that doesn't necessarily stop me. Another problem is that two of their points are in their singleton. And actually, they have 6 points in their shorter suits. So that their suit quality isn't brilliant. So more importantly than just having extra values for bidding your suit at the 3 level, you should try to feel, this is something you'll get the hang of with more experience, but you should try to get a feel for how strong your hand is in context. And the ace of spades is okay, but you'd rather have the ace of hearts, for example. You'd rather have the queen of clubs in your hearts. So all these things lead me to pass. Okay, so now North gives up and our partner comes in with 3 hearts. Now this is a really interesting bid. So it depends a little bit what system you're playing. I think that most of the people who play in the supervised sessions play ACL. If you play Standard American, then you know for sure that you and your partner have a trump fit, because your partner's promised 5 hearts just by opening the bidding. So you might have just bid 3 hearts to start with. But if you play ACL, you can't do that because partner might only have 4 hearts. It might be right to play somewhere else. So instead, you have to make this decision the second time around. So if you're playing ACL, what do you know about your partner's hand? Well, if they had a strong no-trump hand, which would be a kind of hand where they would only have 4 hearts, then they would have at least 15 points. And knowing that we have 10, would they not have done something over 2 spades? They wouldn't have wanted to risk us leaving the opponents in 2 spades because they know that we have 25 points between us. So clearly, partner's got a weaker hand than that. And if partner's got a weaker hand than that, then they're unbalanced and they have 5 hearts. So actually, you do know more than you think. You know that partner has 5 hearts, so you can actually support the hearts now. Again, it's a little bit close with this hand. This is why I chose to show it to you, because there's so many interesting things going on. Some people would prefer to just go straight to 4 hearts with this hand. Personally, I'd rather not, because you have this jack of spades, which looks like it might not be useful. You don't really know what the situation is with the diamonds, so you don't know how useful your queen of diamonds is. If it were in clubs or hearts, then yes, I would bid 4 hearts. But here it looks like with your balanced hand, you might not be worth a full upgrade. Let's look at the West hand again. Okay, so your partner's bid 3 hearts, and now you can start thinking about your distribution. So think about the kind of hand that you might have had for the same actions that you've already taken. You don't have to have a 5th diamond. You don't have to have a queen and partner suit. You don't have to be 5-5. So some good things going on in your hand. I think that should be worth a game bid. Obviously with 13 points, it's a little bit close, but I definitely think that when you're 5-5, you should normally just bid game. And the form of scoring on the day, for those of you who are interested, was imps. So it's really, really good to bid your games if you can. So it's quite a complicated auction that we've just gone through. Let's see how we want to play the hand. So our left-hand opponent has led the king of spades, showing the queen. It's not brilliant for us. They're knocking out our ace very, very early. It could be that we could get away with playing the clubs, taking a successful club finesse and throwing away a spade. True, but I'm not going to worry too much about making an over trick. Make sure you count your losers. So you have a spade loser. You definitely have 2 trump losers. So you shouldn't really be messing around trying to get an over trick when you might cost your contract. So how can we make sure that we don't have difficulties with these diamonds? Because we've got a couple of diamonds that we're going to have to get rid of. And you might think, oh, India, why are you worrying about this? You've got 3 trumps in the dummy and you've only got 2 diamonds, so you could trump in the shorthand. Well, in theory, yes, but I also have to draw trumps. And thinking about this suit quality, it's really, really important to draw the trumps even when you're missing these cards. So think about it this way. The 2 and the 6 of hearts are still out there, and you don't want to let them make a trick. So you need to start squashing those together. You're missing the king, the queen, and the jack. You want to squash those together. You don't want to let them all score separately. So it's just as important to draw trumps when your trumps are not that good as it is when you've got really good ones. So how are we going to handle these diamond losers if it turns out that it's not safe to take a club finesse? We have to find a way of drawing trumps and ruffling a diamond at the same time. So let's see what we can do. How can we make sure that we can draw trumps safely without losing control of the hand? If we play the ace of hearts and then another heart, then the opponents can take control and draw all our trumps, and now we just need the diamonds to be 3 and 3. So that's not going to be very helpful for us. Well, since we're going to lose some trumps anyway, we may as well lose the first one straight away. So let's try that. We win the spade in our hand, and we play a trump to the 10, or the 9, doesn't matter. So South has won the king, and now they play back a spade, which is something we expected, but remember, there's an interesting bonus here. Now that the queen has popped up, our jack of spades is a winner. So this is something that we can keep in our head. We probably only needed to ruff 1 diamond, but if it turns out that something really bonkers is happening and the diamonds are 5-1, then we have an out. Okay. Now they switch to a club. Is it safe to take the finesse? Well, the correct thing to do is to recount our losers. So we have already lost 2 tricks, and we definitely have a heart loser, even if the hearts are breaking nicely. So that would be our 3 tricks. We can't afford to take a finesse that's going to lose. So we should hop up with the ace. And now what? Well, I hope you said we should draw a round of trumps. Remember, we're trying to do both of these things at the same time. And we can't afford for the high trumps to score separately or for any of the little ones to score ruffs. So we're going to draw 2 trumps at the same time. So we play our ace of hearts. Everybody followed suit. That's good. That means we're making our contract. We still have to be a little bit careful. What are we going to do now? Are we going to draw this last trump or not? we can't afford to draw the last trump, because although we can throw away one of our diamonds on our jack of spades, we will still have another little diamond. Remember that this 3 is being covered by the queen and the dummy, but the 4, we can throw on the jack, but the 7 we can't. And yes, the diamonds probably aren't 5-1, but it's good to be sure. So we want to trump this. We cannot afford to draw that last trump. And why would we anyway? We know it's higher than ours. So a really good rule of thumb for those who like general rules is that if the trump that's left is higher than our own, then we shouldn't bother drawing it. There's no point. They're going to win it anyway. For good measure, we should play our jack of spades and throw away a diamond now. We know that everyone has to follow suit because both opponents have bid spades. We throw a diamond. Now we need to go back to our hand. We play top of the short in diamonds, which is the queen, and then we go to cross over to our hand. Now we play our 7 of diamonds and trump it. Now we trump a club back to our hand. We can try playing our king of diamonds, see if they take the bait. They're not going to. And now we just give up one of our hearts to the opponents because they have a higher trump than us. We made our contract. That's what we needed. It was imp scoring, so we're very, very happy about that. It's not a contract that everyone will necessarily have bid because both hands had a little bit of a borderline action and the opponents were interfering. So this should be a good score. It's interesting to note that there are ways to try to engineer a way of ruffing in the shorthand and drawing trumps at the same time. And normally these involve ducking early. So if you have to lose a trick anyway, then you may as well duck the first round, just to keep a bit of control of the hand when you play your ace. I hope you enjoyed that hand. It's a pretty interesting one. A lot of really borderline decisions there. A lot of interesting stuff going on, and a lot of people doing different stuff on the day as well. I hope to see you all very soon, and take care. Bye.